All right, y'all, this is James with Quantum Mechanic. We're going to go over the 90% box here. Basically, it does all engine repairs for the most part that are under the hood in the engine bay. It doesn't really count brakes or suspension work or heavy duty stuff because it's mostly 3/8 in here. I have a separate brake bag. I have a larger toolbox for bigger stuff, you know, the works. So let's get right into it. On the outside of the toolbox, not much has changed from the original one, but a little bit here and there. Still my favorite light, still for the customer's keys, that goes right there. We've upgraded to the snap-on double box and wrench. I have a video on that if you guys want to check it out. Absolutely fantastic ratchets. These are just cheap ceramic magnets there. My two favorite picks right here. So the 90 degree and the 45 with the bent. These are fixed double box in. Those work great. This is a really fantastic flashlight as well. Just a quick little grab and go. Extra picks down here. And these are, because I work on a lot more Audis and VWs and stuff like that, I have these 1/4 inch Torx. So the 30 and the 20 are right here. Those are the 30s used the most there. But this is really great for like valve covers, stuff like that. Anyway, this is just comes in super great handy. Although it's difficult to store, so they just kind of get thrown in there. Still got the gray pneumatic, shallow and deeps. This is all metric. Still got, and then this is going to be the Icon mid-length right there. That goes to 19, 8 to 19. This is 7 to 22, by the way, for the gray pneumatics. These are going to be the Snap-on e-Torx. These are fantastic. Like I told you guys before, don't cheap out on that. These are going to be the Snap-on swivels. You don't have to get Snap-on. All these tools, you don't have to get Snap-on. You can do any brand you want, okay? Just this is what I have. And then these are going to be the Blue Point Torx bits. These are go from the really small ones up to, I think this is T60, maybe it's T55. T55. These are going to be my spark plug sockets. So I have Quinn, I have Snap-on, and that's pretty much it for these. I have the two sizes I have are the 14 millimeter thin wall 12 point. That's for a lot of like German cars. Then I have the standard 5/8. Excuse me, that's a 14. And then I have a standard 5/8 here. And then this is the normal 14 without the thin wall or the 12 point. Those come in handy. These are going to be the Allen keys or hex head. These are all Snap-on. Some extra swivels. These are the larger size swivels that are more commonly used for me. And then this is going to be 6, 7, 8, and 10 on the 1/4 inch. I like my impact extensions up here, right up here with the Gen 2 Milwaukee stubby. This thing is fantastic, 550 foot-pounds. I've upgraded all of mine to these high output, newer batteries. These are really nice. I like the form factor that gives me. On the top, now this is going to be ratchets and extensions. So these are my most used pliers, the Snap-on. Here, check it out right there. These are the LN46 ACF. These are really, really great. I got them in a 3-pack. If you're thinking about getting them, I have a video on those as well. Mirrors, still, I think, one of the most underutilized tools. And I've talked about all these ratchets before, but we have gear wrench, Snap-on, Matco, Snap-on. These are the Capri. And then this is my most used ratchet, which is the Icon. This thing is fantastic. It's used for everything. I have a really long Matco 1/4 inch back there. And then these are my extensions. I have locking extensions. And then the Wobble Drive Plus. These are my new favorite extensions. I wish they locked, but these are the Wobble Drive Plus from Snap-on. Those are really great. Another 1/4 inch body, 3/8 head. This gets used all the time. Another little spinner. These are just assorted bits for the 1/4 inch and some stuff for the insider ratchet, which we'll get to in a little bit. So adapters, extensions, little smaller ones. This is the 1/4 inch adapter for the insider ratchet. You know, nothing too crazy. So yeah, that's that. All right, so moving down, I have, this is one of my often used drawers as well. So I have the insider ratchet here. This thing is worth its weight in gold. I did a video on this. I had to repair it myself because I couldn't do without it. So I even bought another one. But anyway, this thing is absolutely fantastic. Comes out for most things. This is my 1/4 inch old school one, non-fuel. This thing is great. It's got the Wobble Drive Plus. I like those as well. On a 1/4 inch, on a 10 millimeter semi-deep. And I've talked to you guys about that. Why? It's because I can take off the extension and run it a little bit shallower. Okay, I can put the extension back on. It's just a really, really good setup here. And I use this all the time. So it's really, really great to have in a moment's notice. I'll be doing a video on these shortly. These are the Snap-on electrical disconnects. These are really, really great. I'm not going to go into detail right now, but would highly recommend just buying these replace both of my Lyle disconnects, the angled and the straights. So highly recommend that. These are the larger snap-on pliers, the ACN LN47 ACS. I have the icon version in there, but this is housing the nice stuff, so to speak. I have some trim panel poppers. I use this all the time for all different kinds of stuff. This is like the only pry bar I keep in here. I have bigger pry bars, obviously, but I also use this as a hammer, so I can flip this around and kind of use it as a pummel when I need to get something off that's lightweight. Flush cuts, diagonal cutters, and then this is the only screwdriver you'll see in here. This is just a long handled flathead. This is really great for like RTV that's stuck, or honestly, flatheads. And really, I use it a lot as like a pry bar or pick to get off electrical connectors. So that comes out quite a bit. And then here I have the medium size, or the small LN version pliers. These are fantastic as well. I have has come in handy a lot over the years. Yeah, just minor Moxnix things here and there. And then I just picked this up. I've only used it a handful of times. It's meant to be for electrical connectors. I actually haven't. I think I've actually only used it once, and I don't even think it worked very well. But we're going to keep it on there because the bane of my existence is electrical connectors, especially when they're all kind of corroded and dirty and just otherwise not fun to try to take off. So sorry about this. All right. Usually I don't take everything out all at once. A bit of a Tetris. All right, and then the bottom drawer, I've changed this a little bit too. So this is my absolute favorite multimeter. I've talked about that. The Icon bit set. You definitely need to have one of these in your toolbox if you don't already. Really, really great kit. I also keep on my toolbox, I keep the 1/4-inch one here. So it's just really, really, really useful. I use these Snap-on. These are Snap-on, but they don't have to be that brand. These, because I got them because they have pink handles. Anyway, this is really great for brake jobs or those stubborn electrical connectors, or even hoses if you're trying to get them off because they're not super sharp. So those come in handy quite a bit. I like to keep an extra scan tool in here as well. So this is the Top Don. You guys have heard me talk about this. I really, really like this Top Don. So yeah, I would highly recommend a small little pocket scan tool that you can fit in here. So these are the Vim rails that I've actually, so the Vim rails that came in here had originally had these short Allen heads, really super stubby. These are fantastic. They've come in handy a couple of times already since I bought them, since I purchased them. I also have the triple squares in here. These are going to be from Lexivon. These are really great because they have the dual drive. Highly, highly, highly recommend on these if you're working on any kind of German cars, Audis, stuff like that. And then I also have, this is going to be the Torx bits and ultra stubby. Okay. Now, these aren't my go-to, and you might think you just put extension on it and it replaces that, but it doesn't really. So, the more you turn wrenches, the more you kind of know what I'm talking about. And then on this one down here, I keep my swivels. So these are the Snap-on swivels. These are really nice because they go all the way up to 15. So this is just a really, really great set to have. I have a Phillips down here and an adapter. So when I need to run off some air filters or whatever, I'll throw this onto the powered ratchet. These are my second most used style of ratchets. These are the Gear Wrench Flex Head. These are really great. I mean, I've talked about them in the past. I have them alternating. So it's going to be, 8, 10, 12, 14. And then 15, 13, and then this right here is going to be when I'm taking off the belt tension, I like to keep these if the belt tensioner has that option to put a pin in there, so I can remove the wrench and just keep the tension off. You got to have yourself a crescent wrench. Got to have yourself a paint marker. I use this thing all the time. It kind of just gets used for all different kinds of things. And then the 3 different pliers I keep in here are going to be the larger mechanical slip joint pliers. These are great. And then the 2 Knipex or Nipex or whatever Cobra pliers. These are really great as well. Got to have those in there. All right, guys. So that is the upgraded tour on the Toolbox. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a comment or a like or whatever. I mean, subscribe, whatever. I don't care. Check out the old video if you want a little bit more detail. And then if you want to check out anything else, I have videos on all this stuff in here. So check it out. Let me know. And then write me a comment if you want to see something in particular. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.